Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Planet Coaster. We're back here at the Caffstravaganza theme park. Things are going pretty well. We've got currently just over 1,000 people at the theme park, almost $3,000 in the bank, and a current park rating of 692. And also some very excited people, also people who just care about personal fitness, and also some people who share, it has to be the same hairstylist, right? Like, unless they're like sisters or identical twins maybe, who just, one of them needs prescription glasses, one of them doesn't. Thought she was wearing a Twitch hoodie then, I'm not gonna lie. From this angle, it kind of looks like that could have been the Twitch logo. It's not. Where are these guys going? These guys are heading to Wild Blue. I'm quite surprised, actually. I didn't think that Wild Blue was really one of our most popular rides, but apparently it is worth running to. I think that Insanity 1 was just recently broken down, which is why the queue is kind of just filling up now. It was a bit short for a second there, but everyone is making their way around to Insanity 1. And since the end of the last episode, I've mostly just done a little bit more decorational stuff. I've filled in a couple of the gaps that we had around the theme park. For example, we've got these toilet stalls here. I spent a bit of time just kind of filling these in with bushes and hedges to make it look a little bit more like our centerpiece here with the Planet Coaster logo, as well as more like the park behind it. And then I went and added some more of these bushes around the outside as well, just to kind of make everything look a little bit more uniform. You may also notice that we have a new building as well. This thing over here, it serves no purpose whatsoever. It's not there to sell drinks or food or anything like that. It is simply there for decorational purposes. It looks pretty good. It raises the scenery rating of things like Insanity 1, and people in general just kind of like your park more if there is just scenery around, if there's just scenery all over the place. And also, one of the challenges that we have right now is to achieve a park balance bonus of 70. Now, I'm not quite sure how the park balance bonus is calculated. Right now, we have a park balance bonus of 49. Also, woo, Insanity 1 is broken down again. Someone did point out in the comment section that I should be spending a bit more money on having rides fully refurbished. Like right now, the status of this ride, if we look at the wear and tear, it's about halfway through, and we could pay $995 to get this fully refurbished, and so it shouldn't break down quite as often. And I think one roller coaster that's really suffering from that is, yes, the Scream Machine, which is currently doing pretty well on wear and tear, but we could spend about $2,000 to get this back up to tip-top shape, especially considering that this is our #1 moneymaker right now. This is where all of the money in the park is being generated for the most part. If we look at this thing and we go over to overview, we can see that last month it made $340. How much did the Insanity 1 make? Insanity 1 lost $171. Wild Blue made us $384. The Carousel made us $720. What? The Carousel is our most profitable ride. That is ridiculous. And then, of course, also at the end of the last episode, we made the Bumpin' Derby, which I'm going to rename actually to Dodgems, because that's what they're called. Dodgems, like that, because that's what we call them. At least here in the UK, they might be called something else. Where you live, if they are, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm going to call them Dodgems for the time being. And these guys made us $1,405 last month. That is ridiculous. Also, what does it look like if we ride these things? Because actually, you can ride all of the rides of this. I didn't even think about it at the end of last episode. Oh my goodness, we'll slow that down. Flipping heck. It looks pretty good. I like being able to see like the little new building we got in the background there. That looks kind of nice. You can see all the theme park. I think it looks pretty good so far. I'm liking the theme park. A bit empty over on this side, you know, but you get a good view of the trees and the big old grass field that's just massively empty. And so, what I want to work on in today's episode, guys, is I want to try and complete at least one, maybe two, and hopefully all three of the challenges that we have over here on the left. Like I said, I'm not quite sure on how we get the park balance bonus. I know it's something to do with the amount of scenery that you have in relation to the number of rides, but right now, our park balance bonus is what, 57? I don't know if we need more scenery or more rides in order to get it higher. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with that. I'm not quite sure how it's calculated, but we are going to go ahead and build a new roller coaster with at least 2 seconds of airtime, and hopefully with an excitement of 9. I did mention at the end of last episode that I wasn't quite sure what airtime meant, but people have informed me since the end of last episode that airtime is kind of that feeling of weightlessness when you go over a bump. So you'll usually, on a roller coaster, you'll get a big drop, it'll come all the way down, and then when you get to the bottom, it'll usually go over a little bump, or maybe even a big bump, and when you get to the top of that bump, you kind of lift that in your seat a little bit. You feel like there's no gravity on you, because the speed at which you're going up kind of outweighs the speed at which you're being pulled down. Kind of. I'm not a scientist, don't take my word for it, but I know what we need to put in the roller coaster in order to make it work. For example, right here, our roller coaster doesn't have many seconds of airtime, if any. Let me have a look here real quick. Also, it has broken down, so you know what? I'm gonna Do I want to request a refurbishment? It could probably do with one. Yeah, I'll request a refurbishment. I'm kind of iffy on requesting a refurbishment because that is almost all of our money. We've now only got $700, which means it is going to be a little bit hard for us to build this new roller coaster with at least 2 seconds of airtime and at least 9 excitement. But all we have to do is just wait a little while, build up some more money, and this thing should start to pay for itself pretty quickly. But like I was saying, our roller coaster goes all the way up. And actually, let me check real quick. Our current airtime is total airtime duration 1.1 seconds, so it's almost got 2 seconds of airtime, and I'm assuming that's probably like around here maybe. But as you come down this big drop, if we had like a little bump here, when they get to the top of that bump, that would add to the seconds of airtime. And it's when your upwards acceleration equals like negative G's, when you get negative G's on the upwards, I think, or maybe the lateral, I'm not quite sure, but when you get some negative G's, that's when the airtime is taking place. Hopefully that made sense, and I feel like I'm just rambling on at this point, but we'll wait a little while, we'll build a new roller coaster. Whilst we're waiting, there are a couple of things that I want to do. The first thing I want to do is go to research. We did unlock, I should say, a new roller coaster at the end of the last video, but I didn't actually click to show the research. We unlocked the Looney Turns coaster, which is nice, I guess. We'll use that for our next roller coaster with the 9 excitement and the 2 seconds of airtime. But I do want to start some new research on family rides, because I still want a ride to put in this slot here. We've got like quite a bit of empty space around this middle section, and I kind of want to start filling that in. I don't really think we can put in anything here, and so I might end up just using this as scenery space for Insanity 1, but spaces like this one over here, and this big space over here, and actually probably like this area over here as well, we can start to fill in with more rides and more attractions and more shops and stuff like that to start to give people a bit more stuff to do while they're in the theme park. The reason why I've chose family rides is because usually, like with the carousel here, the family rides kind of tend to fit this like fairy tale theme that we've kind of got going on in the middle here. You know, we've got our shops and our decorations. They all kind of look kind of fantasy, kind of fairy tale, and the family rides tend to fit into that kind of aesthetic more than the thrill ride. You look at the thrill rides we've got right now, none of these really fit in with the aesthetic. They don't look bad per se, but they don't necessarily fit with the theme that we've been going for. And so, although we are going to build more of these kind of thrill rides, especially just around the middle here, I'd like to get more rides that somewhat fit the theme and look like the rest of the area, and those tend to be the family rides. So that's why I'm going to do some more research, try and get those unlocked as soon as possible. We will pump $1,500 per month into unlocking that. And can we get another one going here? We can. We will also unlock this one as well. And you know what? Will we put... Yeah, we'll put 1,500 into that as well. Hopefully that'll unlock both of those fairly quickly. I'm not quite sure what they'll be. The reason why I'm doing both of them is because there are a lot of family rides that won't fit into this area. There are some really big ones that we would have to put somewhere else. Like maybe here? I'm not quite sure. I don't want to put my rides too close together. One thing that I have learned from playing this in single player is that if you put all of your rides too close together, that's a really good way to kind of have areas of your park that do really badly. Like if we put all of our roller coasters at the beginning here and then build like another roller coaster all the way over here, that roller coaster is just doomed to fail because people are not going to leave the beginning area of the park if there's like 5 or 6 roller coasters there. That's more than enough for them to kind of just enjoy themselves. And so you do want to spread your roller coasters out quite a bit. I found when I played in a single player world, I kind of just cramped everything together and it worked, you know, it made some money, but people just, there was so much congestion. People were crammed in everywhere. The paths were just full of people and people couldn't get around and no one was going to the big area, the big empty area of the park. And so I do want to spread things out a little bit, so I'm not going to put like my next roller coaster right here. I'm probably going to put it somewhere maybe over here-ish to try and spread it out just a little bit. But yeah, so while we're waiting for our research to complete, we can start a little bit while Blue has broken down. This is not good. How much is it going to cost to refurbish that? $1,300. That's expensive, but sure, we'll go ahead and refurbish it because we don't really want any of our rides breaking down at all. We want them all running tip-top shape all of the time. Recent downtime for the dodge jumps is only 1%, so that's fine. We are kind of a little bit on the edge here when it comes to money. We've currently got $150. I think rides do break down more when you're on hard mode, which is the mode we're playing on. What the heck? We just paid for this to be fully refurbished and it's already back? Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Thankfully, our mechanic is already here. We should probably look into upgrading him as well. It's probably about time for us to actually go and train all of our staff. So let's have a look here. Oh my gosh, workload is high for Flora. Heck, where are you at, Flora? Are you at our only Chief Beef? Is that what you're doing? Or are you at the... Are you at the Cosmic Cow Milkshake? That's not you. Are you at this Cosmic Cow Milkshake? You are. So apparently The workload for Flora in this one is higher than in this one. That seems odd. We might want to put down another drink store, or maybe another 2 drink stores, or maybe another food store. I'm not quite sure, because I know a lot of people were complaining if we go into park management and we look at the overall kind of satisfaction of the people at the park. 36% of people say this park is great. 35% of people, so another third of people, say that Chief Beef 13 looks busy, I'll try somewhere else. And then we've also got some people still stepping in sick, which is not great. Do we only have 1 janitor at the moment? Let me check that. If we go to staff, and then, yeah, we've only got the 1 janitor. We might want to get another one here. We don't have the funds. We're currently at negative $568, and because we're playing on hard mode, we actually can't take out any loans to fix that, and so I think we're just going to have to wait until the Scream machine is back up and running, at which point we should start to make quite a bit of money again. Yeah, you can see here, we're very quickly going back into the positive. Once we get there, we will start to train some of the staff that we have. Hopefully we'll get there fairly soon. How much money did we have we made this month? We have currently lost $1,400 this month. That is not good. That is not good whatsoever. We could try putting the price of some of these rides up. For the most part, though, it looks like they're all fairly reasonably priced. We could probably charge $5 for the carousel. I don't want to push it too much because the carousel is probably kind of what's tiding us over a little bit. It's made $279. It's not making a ton of money, but it's making a fair amount. It looks like, for the most part, people are still willing to pay $5 to get on the carousel there, but we now have $1,500 again. So let me go ahead and just quickly upgrade everybody here so they're more competent at working where they work. And also, with that, we'll do a little bit of a pay rise. We'll give everybody a little bit more money. We'll bump this guy up to, I guess, like $375. I still don't quite know what I should be paying these people, but we'll also, I think, hire another janitor because of the fact that people are still complaining about stepping in sick, and that is kind of disgusting. So we'll put him there, and we'll train him the first chance we get. Let's check under park management here. I think our research should be done. It is. They are both complete. We got ourselves the whirly rig, as well as the Collider, which I think is one of those massive family rides. So let's have a look. The whirly rig is nice and small. The Collider is, yeah, it's pretty huge. We could put that nowhere because we can't afford it. But if we could afford it, we could probably squeeze it in, like, maybe there. I don't know. We couldn't get really long queuing with that. We could always get rid of some of these paths and put it, like, right there, maybe. That could work, or maybe put it over here somewhere. But the whirly rig is nice and small, and a ride that we could probably get away with actually putting down right about here. Really? Do we not have the money for it? How much does the whirly rig cost? It costs $760, so we can't afford it. Are you serious, game? I can't. Really? There is not enough space here? I guess there's not enough space for a queue. So, you know what? I'm going to go over to paths here. No one's really using this path right now. I think that's mostly because, like, on this side, people are using this path, but I think that's because Insanity 1 is here. Over here on this side, we don't really have anything that warrants the use of these paths. It's a lot easier to get to the Scream Machine going this way. What the heck is going on with the Scream Machine? We need to change this. If we go over to maintenance, we need to make sure that this ride gets an inspection every 10 minutes because we cannot have this ride going down as often as it is. It's our main moneymaker, or it should be our main moneymaker. Right now, it's losing us money, which is not great. We're still making money, hopefully, on the Bump and Derby. We are, which is now called the Dodge Jumps, and we are making quite a bit of money on Insanity 1, which also looks like it was just broken down. Flipping heck, all of our rides are breaking down all the freaking time. But we're going back over to paths here, and we'll get rid of these paths. Thankfully, we do get a little bit of money back here, although not really enough. And now if we go over to rides, once we get enough money, we should be able to put this down, like, right about there. Maybe we'll put it a little bit further back. We'll put it down, like, right about there, and we'll connect up the queue there. And hopefully, if nothing else, people will start using that, and it'll hopefully draw a little bit more money into the park as a result. It looks like the Scream Machine is back online. Hopefully, now that we've got the mechanic checking it every minute or two. And actually, hold on here. Can I increase the number of carts on this? If we go to operations, we might be able to increase the number of trains that can run. Hold on, I'm going to close this. We can't increase the number of trains. Okay, never mind. I'm going to reopen it. Everyone's going to go off the ride, which is a bit of a shame, but people are going to come back around. They'll go back on it any second now. We're almost at the point where we should be able to afford to put down the whirly rig. There we go. We'll stick this guy down pretty much as close as possible here. I don't want the queue to be too short, but I don't want it to be too far away from kind of the central area here. And you know what? We might even... No, I was going to say we might even have the path kind of, or the queue start like here and come in. But I think instead what we'll do is we'll get rid of like one of these bushes like that. And then we'll have the, if we come over here, and we build an entrance. We'll put the entrance down, like, on the side, like this, and then we'll put the exit down probably, yeah, like, right about there. So people can get off, and if they want to, they can go right back around and get on again. So let's connect the path to the entrance. We'll do something like this, and what I'll probably do here is we'll, like, extend the length a little. No, you know what we won't. We'll do this. We'll bring it in. We'll bring it kind of as close as we can to being in line, to kind of, like, keeping a good circle around the whirlywig, if that makes sense. I want to keep it, like, equidistant away from the ride at all times, kind of like that, and then have it come round a bit like that. Not particularly long queue. We might have to move that at some point to make it a little bit longer, depending on how popular the whirly rig is. But for now, let me go ahead and we'll probably just move these. Like if I do something like this, we go to rotation, we rotate it like 90 degrees. Let's make sure the angle snap is on. Otherwise, we end up in a position where the hedge just looks horrible. And this is basically a lot of what I was doing between the videos. And this is the reason why I do it mostly between the videos, because it's a little bit tedious, but I think it looks pretty good when it's done. And then you can just go ahead and Control X, you can duplicate it and then bring it out like this, click it down, Control X, oh no, wrong one, Control Y, Control X, a lot of hotkeys basically, but if you do that, you can go ahead and make it look kind of nice fairly easily. It's on a bit of a slope, but you know what? I will fix that between videos for now. Let me just go ahead and move this one in a little bit so that people can actually get out of the whirly rig. And then there we go. This thing is open for business. How much are we charging for it? $4. What is its scenery rating? Scenery is 100%. You know what? Flipping, I don't know, $6. Boom. We'll open it up. We'll see how well it does. If it does extremely well, which already it looks like it's doing, you know what? $8. The price has already gone up, and people are still ready to pay that. Some people. These guys were not ready to pay it. Neither were these people, but it looks like most people are. And again, with such a short queue, we don't really want this to be like a mass appeal ride. We want it to be a somewhat expensive ride, and also considering it can't hold that many people, we want it to be a somewhat expensive ride that keeps that keeps the queue about 3/4 of the way full. Like already it looks like it might be getting a bit too full. If that many more people get on it, we'll keep an eye on it. If it needs to, we'll go ahead and increase the price. If not, we'll leave it as is. It looks like, you know what, $8.50. It's too full. No, it's too full. $9. Is anyone, people are willing to pay $9. Okay, that's fine. That's good for us. That's good for us. This thing is broken down again? That is ridiculous. You know what, we're going to request a refurbishment again. The mechanic is going to have to refurbish this because freaking hell, we cannot do with the ride breaking down that often. It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and nope. It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. We can't have it. And also, fine. You know what? We're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to move this about because we cannot have it like this. There's too many people in the ride. So I want to move the queue. Yeah, here we go. Let me move the entrance. I'm gonna put the entrance like right round on the other side here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll connect up the entrance with our standard paths like this. We want to go to queues, have that come out, and again, insufficient funds. We're in the negatives again. Of course, our money always drops into the minuses whenever the flipping screen machine goes down. Thankfully, it's back up again. Let me do the same kind of thing that we did before. We'll just keep it nice and tight as we bring it around the edge here. Not too close. This might be too long of a path. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, people don't mind waiting too long to go on the whirly rig. And we might even lower the price of the thing, but probably not. Just because right now it seems like the demand is high even with the $9 price tag, which in my opinion is a little bit expensive. Not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't pay $9 to go on the whirly rig, but if people are willing to pay $9 to go on the whirly rig, we will let them pay $9 to go on the whirly rig. It is back open. And look at that, already people are willing to queue. Does it still have a scenery rating of 100? It does not. The scenery rating has dropped to 82, probably because the queue doesn't look quite as nice on this side here. But people are still willing to pay it. People are still willing to queue in this ride. That is ridiculous. You know what? $10. It's $10 to get on the whirly rig. Are you going to pay that? Nobody? $10 is too much? Is that where you guys draw the line at $10? Nobody wants to pay $10 to get on the whirly rig. But you'll all pay $9. What the? Okay, fine, $9. It's $9 to get on the whirly rig. All right, we'll see how it does. We'll see if the queue gets any longer. We'll see if it gets too full. We'll see if it gets too short. We can always tweak it as time goes on. But now that we've got a decent amount of money, I do want to start working on this roller coaster because we put it off for way too long. So let's go ahead and let's get a custom coaster going. Actually, what do these ones look like? We've got the Screamer. Oh my goodness, that ride is ridiculous. How much does that cost to build? $14,000. And it's the Fierce, not even green. That's ridiculous. And then we've got the Madness as well, which is another interesting looking roller coaster. Not quite as crazy as this one here, the Screamer. That looks crazy. But we're going to go to custom coasters. We're going to build the Looney Tunes coaster. And we're going to put this down probably somewhere like over here, just opposite the Insanity one. So we'll put it down like, I guess, right about there. And it's going to be a pretty short coaster. Mostly just like a big old lift hill, and then a drop, and then a couple of bumps to try and get that airtime in. And then hopefully we can keep it as exciting as possible all the way through to try and get that excitement up to 9. And we'll try and keep the nausea down as well where possible. So we are going to go right up here. We're going to go straight up. Maybe not too high, but quite high. You know, we'll go. How high is the other roller coaster? The other roller coaster is pretty high. So, you know what? We've got to go at least as high as the Scream Machine over there. So we'll go to about here, and then we'll kind of bend it over. Actually, you know what? If this is going to be a shorter coaster, we'll go even higher. The drop is going to be the draw of this ride. It's going to be the big old drop, and then we're going to go right down, almost vertically down. We are in the negatives once again. Has the Scream Machine broken down, or are we just spending money hand over fist? No, the Scream Machine has, of course, once again, broken down. What the heck? Do we need to upgrade our mechanic again? I think he's actually upgraded to the highest level. Yeah, he's an expert mechanic. He is the best mechanic this park has ever seen, and yet still, the Scream Machine breaks down over and over again. It's crazy. But we will go ahead and upgrade everybody else. We are paying him $2,000? What? That's... what? Oh my goodness. Is that why we're broke? Are people in the comment section already roasting me over paying our janitor $2,000 at the beginning of the episode? What the heck? Hold on. Can we get like a breakdown of our costs? Finances. Shops and parks. Park management. Is it under here? Staff wages. Negative $3,000. Oh. Oh my goodness. Where is the janitor? Hold on. That is a very irresponsible janitor. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be complaining if somebody accidentally started paying me $2,000 per month when I'm supposed to be getting paid about $300. I'm so pleased with my training. I'm absolutely loving this job. I'm not surprised. Well, you've just took a massive pay cut. Oh, I thought we were in a bit of a bad situation. I thought it was just mostly the ride, the Scream Machine going down over and over again, but we were paying the janitor $2,000 a month? That's crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, well, hopefully now we can start to make some money again. Flipping heck. What do people think of the park? The park is great. I'm not waiting that long to go on the whirly rig. I'm not queuing that long to go on Wild Blue. Chief Beef looks busy still. Okay, so we should probably get another Chief Beef going. The whirly rig queue is pretty long. What's the wait time currently on the whirly rig? The current queue time is 11 minutes, which by normal theme park standards is not really that long, but by Planet Coaster standards is apparently just unacceptable. But if we come back over here, we can continue building on this ride. So let's go edit track. Yeah, we want to have this come all the way down. Hopefully now that we're not paying our janitors ridiculous amounts of money, we should be fine. I don't really... Do we want it to come back in? Yeah, you know what I will do? I'll have it come... I don't want it to twist. No, I don't want that to... No, I don't want it to twist. But I will have it kind of bend in a little bit. Like that, and then we'll have it kind of come back out just a smidge to kind of make it straight again. I'm not quite sure how people are going to feel about that, but that definitely looks kind of scary. And then we'll have it line up straight with that, and then, yeah, we'll have it kind of curve a little bit as it comes down. It's going to be a big old drop, and then we want a little bit... Is that twisting it? No, then we want a little bit of a curve. We don't want it to be too big, but we do want it to be big enough to where when people go over this next bump, they get a bit of a G-force, the airtime that we're kind of talking about here. And so it's at this point here at the top of the bump after they've just come down at that massive drop where they're really going to feel it. We will smooth this out because that looks really kind of jerky right now. We'll probably also have to slow it down a little bit with some brake tracks because they're probably going to be going a little bit too fast. The fear and maybe even the nausea is probably going to be through the roof. But we'll take them for a couple of little bumps here. Try and crack that 2 seconds of airtime, which I think that should probably do. And then we need to get them back round. And so I think we'll go in for a nice wide corner. People love the really wide corners. And we might even go back in for another, like, lift hill maybe. There are, to try, I mean, the lift hills, we can go in for a second lift hill, but they do tend to lower the excitement. People don't like waiting, 30 seconds to go through a lift hill. I don't want to make this longer here. We want to make this as long as possible. We want to have it come down until it's flat with the ground like that. And then we want to have it turn in a little bit. I don't want to turn it too much, because otherwise people are going to get real nauseous. We want a nice, wide, nicely banked turn. Make sure people feel like they're not going to just vomit as soon as they get on this ride. And then we'll kind of start to bring it back a little bit, 45 degrees. Bring it in, 30. Bring it in some more, 15. It does look, I'm not gonna lie, it does go up, which I like. It does look kind of like the other ride that we already have in the park. This one over here, it's got the same kind of wide turn, which, you know what? No, I don't like it. I don't want to have the same setup, but we will, you know, we'll have it here, but we'll add some, do you want to add a loop? We could add a loop into it. Some people love loops, some people hate loops. I kind of like that. I don't know how terrifying that's going to be. What does autocomplete do with that? Apart from destroy the frame rate. That is an interesting roller coaster, to say the least. I'm not quite sure if we'll make it all the way up here, especially if we do put on some brakes over here. But you know what? Sure. Let me do something like this. So let's do some smoothing here. You just want to spam the smooth all button and then also spam the smooth banking here to make it as smooth as possible. Lower that nausea, lower that fear. And then we'll do the same thing over here as they come down, because they were getting a little bit too janky here. So we'll smooth all. And we want to make sure it doesn't smooth the bumps too much, because it will do that. It'll kind of, the more you click it, it kind of flattens them out a little bit. And although we do want it to be not too sharp, we don't want it to be too flat either. Otherwise, they won't really get as much airtime. But that looks pretty good. This at the end here is probably going to be way too fast. So you know what? Let me quickly throw down some like trim brakes as they get to the end here, because otherwise people are going to get, they're going to be entering the end at like 50, 60 miles an hour, and they're not going to be happy. So you know what? We'll give it a test. We'll see how well it does. I'm not convinced that we're going to be, actually before we do give it a test ride, let me increase the speed of the lift hill. Yeah, I want the train lift to go at 40 miles an hour. Try and keep that excitement as high as possible. So here we go. We're going to slow things down a little bit. Starting in a fresh ride. There we go. We changed the speed, the chain lift speed. And so we do have to start afresh. But here we go. The chain lift should be nice and fast. This thing has some crazy struts on it. Look at those. Flipping heck. So we start out. The excitement's not too high, but the fear and the nausea is nice and low. We do want that fear to be up a little bit. We want the nausea to kind of stay where it is. I feel like the nausea's probably going to peak when we go around that loop. But we'll see. So here we go. Over the hill. People are loving it. The excitement's high. The fear's a bit too high. Yeah, I told you. We're going to need some brakes there. You'll see the negative, the vertical acceleration goes negative when we go over those bumps. It does just not have enough momentum to make that work. Oh, it almost worked. It almost worked. Okay, so doesn't quite have enough momentum to go around that loop. We could probably fix that by like bringing it down. Like if we were to select this piece of track again, if I can get my mouse, let's zoom in. If I can get my mouse on this piece of track, and if we extend it out kind of all the way around here, and then all the way around back here, can we just lower this whole thing? We can. So I'm going to bring that down. That's hopefully going to retain a little bit of the momentum because it's not being used to go up. And then we'll also introduce a bit of like a trim brake here, just to kind of slow things down a little bit. The fear was getting a bit too high, but here we go. Let's start the test again. Let's see. How good is this? I'm going to speed it up as we go up the lift hill here because the lift hill is kind of boring. And then once we get to the top, back down to speed 1. All right. People are loving it. The excitement's at 40. A little too high. The fear's still up there. That's our airtime as we come around the corner. It's a bit jerky there. Yeah, we probably should have smoothed it out a little bit, actually, because it is... it's incredibly jerky. Look at that. It kind of goes up and then down again because we brought down this bit but not this bit. So you know what? Here we go. Let me kind of extend this out and around again like so, and we'll extend this bit out and around like that. Let me just spam smooth all here real quick. And then we'll smooth the banking again. Smooth all, smooth banking. You just want to spam this. I wish there was a way to like just multiply this. Like there was a button that was like smooth all times 10 so you could do it a lot quicker. But that looks a lot smoother. People are still terrified when they come down this lift. So we're going to have to put in even more brakes. That does slow us down and it gets rid of that momentum that we're going to need as we go around that loop. But you know what? We'll see how it goes. We can't have the fear peaking at like 9. The excitement's really up there. It gets to like 14. You can see already we're past 9. The fear's a bit too much. Maybe we shouldn't have had it come in. Like when we go over that drop, it dips in. That sunset looks really nice. We're not going to have the momentum here No. That's a shame. Okay, you know what? Let's go back to the drawing board. That's not what I want to do. I want to go from this side. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of the loop. It's not working. And let us, I feel, I don't know, I like the fact that it dips in. Can we add like a hold up here? I know there were some rides where you can have them like wait for a couple of seconds when they get to the top. Chain lift, and then drive tires, friction brakes, block station allows multiple trains. No, that's not what I want. I don't know if there's a way that I can do it on this roller coaster. But I know on some roller coasters, you can kind of have them hang in a certain place for quite some time. They can just sit there as they look down. I think this might be causing a bit of the fear when it bends in. So you know what? I'm going to bring this down as well and do a little bit more smoothing. Try and make it a bit less of just a horrifying experience as people kind of go around there. You can see it's pulling that out a bit to kind of negate that a little bit here. And let's have a look. People are coming up. We're doing tests whilst we smooth. Is the fear anywhere near as high right now? It's still high. It's still pretty high. You know what? I don't know what to do at this point. Do we just like lessen? We could, I guess, maybe like start pulling up a little earlier. Like if we start not doing that, I don't want to pull it out. If we start bringing it, is it this one? No, I do want to start. I don't know. I kind of want the bit at the end here's a little harsh, but I think it's mostly just how far they're dropping, because the fear only gets really bad when it gets to like here. And I mean, we're already using trim brakes. There's not much more I can slow it down by. But you know what? Sure, we'll do something like that. That's going to slow them right down as they get around here. And then at this point, we're going to go in front of another hill lift. It's not necessarily the best idea in the world, but I think it might allow us to get some more. I don't know, I don't know. People are kind of liking it here. The fear is too high. People are terrified of what's going on. So you know what? We're going to have to go right back to the drawing board. We're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning of the drawing board. So let me get rid of this. Let me work on this, guys. Let me work on this. Okay, so a little while later, I think I found something that the people in this game can stomach, because wow, these guys are hard to please. So what I've done is I've brought this kind of drop a little bit further out. It turns out that the people in this game are just horrified of any excitement whatsoever, because now we pretty much have the trim brakes going all the way down here. So the brakes pretty much start right there, but you can see the excitement gets real high. The fear doesn't get too high, and then as they go over here, the excitement peaks up to above 9, and then it kind of drops them down. They go up here. They just make it. I had to make this dip real low, and then they come around this nice slow corner. They like it. The excitement's nice and high. It does lower a little bit into the orange there, which is not the best. I have added another lift hill here, which I did say earlier was kind of the kiss of death for excitement, because you'll see the excitement drop off rapidly when people get to this second lift hill. But I kind of want to add some new stuff to it. I want to add like a loop that comes down and stuff like this, and I want to make it look a bit more interesting than the last one. That looks like it is going to just destroy people. People are not going to like that whatsoever. And so we need to have something that kind of loops down and maybe to the left, like that maybe. Although I have found in the past that people are not huge fan of these like helixes. I don't know, they're in the game, but people tend to hate when you use them. So I'm not quite sure why they're in the game. Maybe we could go for a roll of some kind, maybe drop them down. Yeah, they really don't like that though. They really don't like those weird loops. I don't think there's enough momentum to make something like that work. Yeah, no, something like that looks crazy. It looks quite interesting, but they're just not going to have the momentum to make it work. So I think we're going to have to do what we always do here. We're going to have this be just a drop. So I'll have it at 0 degrees. We'll have it come down. We might have it be a drop with a twist, maybe? Like if we do something like that. And then is there any like drop rolls? Is there anything that's going to allow me to drop people here? I don't want it to go back up. I want it to go just straight down. It doesn't look like any of these offer that as something for us to do. These all go kind of directly up, which is not what I want. I want it to come down. As it comes down, we are going to have it twist just a little bit here, because of course we want it to kind of bend in so it can come back around and end up at the start again. This is also a much longer roller coaster than I first intended it to be. Also, not quite sure why it decided to go that way to begin with, but we'll do something like that, and it looks like for the most part that's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll bring this up. We're gonna have to shorten it quite a bit, but we'll bring it up like that, and I think this is where we can introduce our loop. If we're gonna have a loop, this is where the loop is gonna have to be. So Maybe like this? Possibly? Or maybe we could go for one of the real big ones. I'm not quite sure how much momentum we're going to have when it comes to this. Can we do that? Intersecting terrain. Can I not auto-tunnel? Oh. That, though. That? Okay. Hold on. Let's hear him out. Let me auto-complete that. How do people feel about this ride? You know what? We're going to stop test. We're going to start test. We're going to ride this. We're going to ride this because that looks interesting. I knew there was a way that you could tunnel through the terrain, and I have yet to build a roller coaster that actually does it. So the excitement's high, real high, peaking at 14. The fear gets a little up there, but not too much so. There we are, negative G-forces getting us the airtime. There we go. So get a little bit less this time, but still, the excitement peaks at 10, which is good. It's above 9. The excitement's a little low around this corner, which does worry me a little bit. It's probably going to bring down the overall excitement of the ride, and when it gets to this point here, the excitement and the fear plummet really low, but hopefully people are going to love this bit here. The excitement's up at 12. Fear's a little bit too high. The fear is incredibly high there. And then, of course, as it comes to the end here, we might want to add some more stuff just to kind of keep this part of the ride interesting as well. And like I said, here there's going to be some real fear. A little bit of nausea as it comes in at like 40 miles an hour. We've currently got an excitement of 7, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. We do want to add, I think, some lights down here. I don't know quite how we go about like making stuff in the terrain there, but I would like to have some lights, maybe some attractions, maybe some stuff that like pops up while people are down there. But for now, let me like add some trim brakes here so people just don't get ready to vomit and die when they come through this bit here. And let me undo that. Let's do that. Let's add those trim brakes back in. I just want to really get rid of the autocomplete bit because we really don't need it. We do have a cart coming around, so I do want to check how they feel about the nausea as they kind of come down now that we've got the trim brakes on. They are not as bad. The fear is still pretty high as they go around there, but it's not anywhere near as bad as it was. We can always go ahead and tweak that with time. So let me go ahead and see if I can finish this in a way that's at least somewhat interesting. I don't think we can quite throw them for another loop because I don't think they're going to have enough. I don't think they have enough momentum to make that. But maybe if we made it smaller, like if we did something like this and then kind of turned them back in a bit, we are going to have to do some real banking here. Otherwise, people are going to really start to crank up on the nausea, but I would like to, where possible, start to bring this back around this way. We don't want it going up. I kind of want to keep it level with where it's at, but I want it to bend in a bit, and then we'll kind of bring it back. Not like that. I want to bring it back a little bit. People really do like the bends, though. They love going around the bends. The excitement tends to peak. The fear, not so much, but the excitement is definitely there, and then I want it kind of straight-ish as we come back in like that, and then, you know what, we'll go for a little bit of another airtime loop just to try and keep that excitement as high as possible as they come round to the end here. We could go into the ground once more and try and get like a real nice ending bit here. This ride is freaking huge. That is not perfect. I'm not gonna lie, this ending bit here, I would like it to be a lot more kind of wide. I want it out a lot. I don't want it down. I want it, no, undo. I want it to be a lot further out, like this. But I mean, I guess that's not gonna work. Can I do that? Yeah, I could do that. It looks real weird, but yeah, if we do something like this, it's gonna make it a lot more sane as it gets to the end here. I don't know if this is gonna work, by the way, at all. I don't think we're gonna have enough momentum to get through this, but we'll see. It's looking like a much different ride than it did originally before. Oh gosh, it looks great down here, doesn't it? Right, we don't have enough momentum now to get through even this bit. Was it that bit? Hold on. Let me ride this ride. Let me see where that was. I don't know if that was the first underground section or the second underground section. So they're bringing it down. They're loving it. Loving life. Not too scared. Not too nauseous. The excitement is up there. Starting to yawn a bit at this point. They're like, oh, boring. Who likes corners? Oh, we love corners. Not as exciting. Not as scary. And then the chain lift, they're asleep again. They're bored to death already. Alright, here we go. Excitement's up there. We've slowed them down. The fear's still there, but not too bad. It does peak in the red, but they make it up that. They don't make it around there. Okay, that was... I'm not gonna lie, that was to be expected. I didn't think that they would be able to make this. I don't know how I would go about fixing that then. I guess what we could do is we could have another big old drop, like another big old into the floor drop. Oh my goodness. I've never built this much into the ground before. So I've no idea how people are going to respond to this, and how does autocomplete work with that? It just doesn't? Oh, there we go. Let me at least get out of the ground before we try and autocomplete. Okay, so I guess that works. That turn is going to be horrific. People are going to hate coming around that corner. So let me try and make that as wide as I can here. We're going to try and make it nice and wide. There we go. That looks like about as wide as we can get it. And then we'll just kind of smooth the banking and just smooth the all as we go here. Track limit excess. Okay. Okay, well. I think this coaster has lost its way. But you know what? If it works, I'm going to be so happy. So we can build stuff there. Can I put like scenery down here? If I go to scenery, can I get like custom, I don't know, props? Let me type in light. Let me see if I can get a light down here so I can see what I'm doing. We can get one of those lights. I would much rather have like a better light. If I go to infinite, these are the only lights I can get, really? Lamp. Oh, we can put down a square. Oh, look at this. It's kind of horrifying, isn't it? But we can put these lamps down as we go down here. This is pretty neat. I kind of like this. It's not quite symmetrical, but it does look definitely a little horrifying. Let me go back to edit track here so I can try and get down. Oh gosh, not what I want to be. I want to try and get down into the ground here so I can... here we go. So I can put down more of these lamps, basically. Here we go. Scenery. Lamp. What's this one? Square lamp strip? I think we're probably fine with just like the normal square lamps here. And then you can kind of... Yeah, it's a little... I don't think the game necessarily likes you being underground like this. Too much. I know the game is designed to have you play it like that, but oh my gosh, look at this. This is gonna be our flagship roller coaster. This thing is way too long and way more hassle than it's worth. But if it works, I'm gonna be so happy. It should definitely fulfill the airtime criteria. I would be surprised if we can get this ride to fulfill the excitement criteria, just because it's got so much going on and there's quite a bit of downtime, especially towards the end. I don't know though. We might be able to make it. We might be able to get the excitement constantly above 9, or on average above 9. It's doing so well so far. Like this first half of the roller coaster kind of stays above 9 all the way. This bit lets it down a little bit. There's quite a while where it's at 6, and then it does plummet here to like 3, which is not great. But here we go. The excitement's going to peak again as they come down here. The thing we're most worried about, I think, is the fear at this point. The fear could ruin the excitement for us. And then as they get over this little bump, oh my goodness. We might have to put some trim brakes on this so the fear doesn't get too bad. Oh, they're not going to have enough. They don't have enough momentum to leave. Oh gosh. Okay. So this is not. This bit here, I should say, is not. It's not scary enough. It doesn't do it justice. So I'm not quite sure what happens when we do that, because now there's like we've reshaped the tunnel. So I'm assuming our lights are going to leave. But I don't want it to turn back. I want it to... Oh, it's kind of hard to... Oh, gosh. It's real hard to build this when you can't see what's going on. But I want a big straight drop. And then we're going to kind of bring it up pretty harshly, actually. Like that. And it's going to come right back up. And people are going to hate it. Kind of. But I hope they love it as well. So we'll do that. And then that's just, again, a horrible corner that we're going to have to smooth to all heck to try and get it to look nice again. We are probably going to have to get out the terrain tool to try and fill in this bit here. But, oh my goodness. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it to work. Where are we at on the ride right now? We're coming up to the second lift hill. Okay. Nice and slow. Normal speed. Coming down. Excitement's high, fear's a little high, nausea's also a little high, but people love it. It's fine. Can they make it through this? So the lights are still there, which is good. We're going down a second tunnel, which is horrifying. Can't see a thing. And they can't make it. Brilliant. Those... What have we done? We have destroyed what this was. Hold on, let me undo. That, oh my goodness. That, like, when you go down, the fact that you could see the other hole, you could see the lights where the other bit of the coaster used to be. Oh, it's it's crazy. We might have to put in, like, another lift hill, maybe? Yeah, I think it might have to be a lift hill at this point here to get people out of the hole. Otherwise, they're just not going to make it. And so we'll have that kind of, I guess, bend over at the end here. Like that. And then maybe just connect up back around normally. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this mess. Oh my goodness. All right. Smooth it. Smooth the banking. Gonna make it much, much wider. Thankfully, we've still got a little bit of money, I guess, which is nice. We've got 4,500. So the park is capable of making money whilst we're not there. Oh my gosh. Okay, how is this going to go? So we're back again at the second lift hill. The second of 3 lift hills now at this point. Alright. So we drop. The fear gets a bit high, but nothing unmanageable. The excitement's still there. That's all that matters. Big old drop again. People love it. The excitement is there. Fear's not too bad. They are going to stop pretty quick for the lift hill. The fear gets up there. The excitement... Oh gosh. This is real slow. We're gonna have to change the speed of that lift hill in a second, but let's just see how it goes. Let's just see if people can even muster what's going on here. So people are a little bit... not even close. Not even close. Okay. Okay, hold on. So we get up here. We might have to take them even higher. So I'm gonna... No, I want to undo that. Escape. Let me get rid of what is over... here. I want to start getting rid of these tracks. We'll probably try and connect them back up there. I think we're going to have to go a little higher on this with the actual lift hill. So let me delete that. And then back on this one. Let's go. Let's take them even higher. Like that. Not too high. Because I don't want this. I just don't want too much lift hill. But we'll do something like that. And then we'll bring this down. And we're just going to try and autocomplete. Okay. Okay, that should work. We'll smooth it as much as we can. We'll smooth the banking. The frame rate is not loving it, but it's fine. Okay. We might have to put like a trim brake or 2 on here to slow it down just a smidge. And then, of course, we are going to have to change the speed of this lift hill up to 14 miles an hour because it's way too slow. What's the speed of this one? Is this one also at? Like, no, this one seems fine. Okay. Take 10. Okay, so this is that third lift hill that is now at 14 miles an hour. As we get up it, there is now a way for us to actually get down it. We're going to pick up some speed. The excitement's hopefully going to get up there a little bit. The fear, hopefully not too much. Alright, it's not that exciting, I guess. We might want to get rid of them trim brakes. They hit that. The fear and the nausea is just horrifically high on that turn. And then they gently pull back into the station. What have we done? What have we done to this ride? It's now got a fear of 9.3 and we've made it worse. The excitement is worse than before. It's taking up so much freaking space. Okay. First things first, get rid of the trim brakes. People don't like the trim brakes here. They're not a fan of this. Is not exciting. They're not loving it. Let me, you know what, let's put like a little dent in it. It's gonna drop down horribly like that. I want to make it a bit of a dent, but then I'm gonna try and smooth it and it's just gonna look normal again. But I want it to dip a little bit, you know. I want to bring some excitement into the ride again. I want to try and make it as exciting as possible. So we're gonna dip this. It's gonna smooth out. And then we're gonna get rid of this. Like this is just not good. You know, that's just not good. So we're gonna try and fix this ourselves. So we're gonna turn it in. Also, we're gonna have to get rid of... Nope, not what I want to do. Not what I want to do. We're gonna have to get rid of what is on this side, like that for a second. We will come back down and we will use that tunnel. But I want to put the turn in myself. So we're gonna have it... I want to extend the track, please. Can I? There we go. I want to extend the track. We're gonna have it tilt a little bit, not too much. And you know what? We're going to delete that. We're going to have this one tilt a little bit. Not go like that at all. We want it to be flat and tilted 15 degrees. And the second one, actually, no. Even then, tilted 15, up a little bit, like that, turning, like that. Okay, then we're going to turn 30, bring it in a bit more. Then we're going to turn 15 again, as we bring it, you know what, no, we're going to leave it at 30, because we're still a bit out there. We're going to bring it a little bit straighter here, because that's like way too far out. And then we're going to bring the twist back to 15. It's probably not called the twist, but I'm going to call it the twist. And we're going to have it be like that, and then bring it in, bring it back to normal, like that, and then like that, and then autocomplete. Boom. Okay. Okay, I think that's a little bit less terrifying. Of course, we're going to smooth it. We're going to smooth the banking. We're going to destroy the frame rate. We're going to get back on the car as it comes round to the second lift hill. Oh, I'm going to make this roller coaster work if it's the last thing I do. At this point, I just want it to work. I want to be able to have, like, hopefully green in all areas, but I want it to be a roller coaster that people ride, if nothing else. Because I don't, at this point, right now I don't think they are going to ride it. They're going to be like, it looks too intense. Which I can't blame them for. It's a little crazy. But here we go. It's going to dip over. They go down into the darkness. You think you're going to go one way, but no, you go into the actual darkness. Fear's a little bit high, and the nausea does creep up a bit, but this lovely, boring lift hill brings you back down, grounds you in reality. That's way too long without any excitement. But you come up. Things start to get a bit more exciting. There's no trim brakes anymore, so people are gonna hate this. Oh no, they like it, they like it, they like it. Still like it. Fear's a bit high. Could probably do with some trim brakes there. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think we're close though. I think we're close. So as you turn the corner, trim brakes all day long. We'll probably actually have some on the corner a little bit here as well, like that. And then we'll have the trim brakes come down, like that. And so you are going to go a little bit slow as you come around there. And then, of course, right at the end, we want the trim brakes all over the place to make sure that people don't come into the station too fast, because that is a guaranteed way to just get your nausea through the roof. All right, guys, I have faith. I have faith that this ride is ready for public consumption. Whether or not it actually is a different question. I still stand by this first bit. This first bit's good. But in my attempts to make this roller coaster unique, I think I've gone too far. I think I've gone too far with it. As soon as you hit this second lift hill, you know you've made a mistake coming on this roller coaster. It's like a 4-minute long roller coaster. It takes way too long to ride. And I don't even think I don't think we're gonna be able to make the 9 excitement. I don't think we'll be able to do it. Fear's too high there, but there's not much I can do about it because they don't really have the momentum if we put trim brakes down. They love this. I can't even see what's causing the nausea there. It's probably like the really sharp, also I'm gonna have to speed this up. It's probably the really sharp like U at the bottom. It's not long enough to get people's fear and nausea down. And then as they come around this, the new speed and that new dip that we added gets the excitement up. They like that. As you come around the corner, there are now trim brakes which slow you down. The fear shouldn't get too bad. It brings it down a little bit, tames it up. Do they make it to the end? I mean, we probably didn't need quite so many trim brakes, but they do make it into the station. What are our ratings? 7, 4, and 1. Guys, that's it. That's our roller coaster. That's it. It's called, let's have a look. I'm going to click done. It was originally called Looney Tunes 1. I'm going to call it Toony Loons. I don't know if that's how you spell Toony or Loons, but there we go. Look at this mess. It's so big. Oh my goodness. But it works. It works. The stats are there. Hopefully people will ride it. If they don't, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. We probably should have left a little bit more space for an actual queue, but thankfully the exit is nice and short. All right, let's see here. Connect to path. Let's put that there. We're going to have to turn it in a little bit and then a little bit more. I don't want it too long. I'll leave the width where it was. What was the width at? Like 3? Yeah, the width was at 3. Can I select this grid and go this way? No, I can't go that way, but I can select the grid. And we'll do a little bit of a zigzag, like so. And then, at that point there, deselect the grid, have it connect up like that. I was hoping it would do like a nice staircase, but you know what? That's fine. The scenery rating is real low. The price is $10. Is anybody willing to ride Toonie Loons? It's open for business. The park's newest attraction. The longest roller coaster. We must have completed a challenge, though. We did. The roller coaster, how many seconds of airtime does it have? It has 5.2 seconds of airtime. Fantastic. I will claim that. We haven't quite yet achieved a park balance rating of 70. What are we at? We're at 57 still on our park balance bonus. So that's still a thing. People are riding it. So you know what? I'm going to bump the price up here to like $13. Just because it's a roller coaster. How much are we charging for the Scream Machine over here? We're currently charging $13.50 for the Scream Machine, and I feel like this thing, I feel like our roller coaster should have a little bit of parity with the prices. What is the scenery rating? It's 33 on there as well, so if people are willing to pay 33 for that, you know what? 15. This roller coaster is how long? People are willing to pay it. Holy heck. We might have to make this queue longer, or actually, you know what we should do? We should turn it off real quick and get more carts on, because right now we got one cart, we can get at least 2 carts. Okay. Well, we're going to have to test it with 2 carts, but we can get through people twice as fast if we have 2 carts here. So let's quickly test this. I have no idea how long the ride is. I feel like it's way too long, but the thing about roller coasters is they make money when because they're short, you know, you can get through a ton of people because they're nice and quick. This roller coaster here takes like less than 2 minutes, probably, I'm guessing entirely. But what's the time on this? If I go to stats, the duration is 49 seconds. It takes less than a minute to ride that roller coaster. This roller coaster over here takes 114 seconds. It takes 2 minutes. It's more than twice as long as the other roller coaster. It's crazy, but it's now open for business. We're going to charge $15. People are willing to pay it. If we bumped up the scenery rating, like if we got some interesting looking stuff around here, I think people will be willing to pay $20 to ride this coaster, which is crazy. But I think people, oh my goodness, they love it. What the heck? $20. People are willing to pay it. We might be able to get more out of them, actually. We might be able to get like 25 if we added scenery, maybe even more. But people are willing to ride this roller coaster for $20, it would seem, without any scenery whatsoever, which I think I will work on between episodes. Like, by the way, I'll probably try and get the scenery rating of this roller coaster a little bit higher. We can go through people a little bit faster, and now that we've got 2 carts on here, that looks a little bit dangerous at the end there when the coaster just kind of hits through the coaster. But it's working. I might even have to, like, increase the queue length. Or, like, my two, like, go-tos are increase the queue length or increase the price. And I think for this one, for now, I'm going to increase the queue length just a little bit. So we'll go back to the grid, and we'll have it do something like this. We'll just add, like, an extra bit of this to it, and then we'll deselect the grid. And hopefully have it come down into a nice... I kind of want the staircase to be a bit longer. Like, if I get rid of this, can we have the staircase be a bit more... I mean, it's still not a staircase, but sure. There we go. It's back open again. $20, we can fit more people in the queue now. People are willing to pay for it, which is crazy in my opinion. And we have broken the path a little bit here. It's now a little bit wonky. But, guys, Toonie Loons is up and running. We spent way too much time on this roller coaster, but I am kind of a little proud of it. Not really. I kind of hate it, and it looks hideous, and it's a mess, but it works, and I'm proud of that. Let's get terrain going here real quick. Let me see if I can flatten to foundation. Can I, like, oh gosh, no, don't flatten to foundation. Flatten to surface. There we go. We can kind of close in these gaps a little bit, make it a little bit less hideous. That's not what I want to do. I want to flatten to surface like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's flatten that up. Let's bring everything, make it all look a little bit neater. There we go. We can add triggers and stuff so we can have things happen as they go underground. I might try and work on that between episodes, get some lights going, get some stuff happening underground here a little bit. I might not. It depends if I can get anything that looks decent. We'll see. But for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the people who work at our parks. Let me quickly go ahead and upgrade these guys to their mastery level, which these guys, I'm paying them. I'm not going to pay them anymore because I think 200 is more than enough. Usually I go by however much it costs to upgrade them, pay them a bit more than that. I just upgraded them at the cost of $187.50, I think it was. And so I think 200 should be fine for the time being. What are people thinking of our park? park is great. Not queuing that long to go on Whirly Rig. I'm not queuing that long to go on Toony Loons. I'm not queuing that long to go on Screen Machine. And I'm not paying that much for Toilet Block 25. It did say something else. It looks like the sick problem has gone. Most people are pretty happy, which I'm glad about. And we've also now got $11,600 or almost $12,000 in the bank. And you know what? Before we go here, let me add this to the Steam Workshop. If you would like to download and put Toony Loons into your park, it's going to cost you $14,000 to build, which is ridiculous. Name your blueprint. This is Toony Loons. Item description. Use... No, I've got to get rid of the rest of the description first. Hold on. Description for your blueprint. Use at your own discretion. There we go. That's fine. Create blueprint. And then if we go to blueprints, we should be able to upload that to the Steam Workshop. So if you want to download and play it, you can go ahead. Be my guest. Here we go. Toony Loons, Steam Workshop, new workshop item. Toony Loons, use at your own discretion. Create workshop item. All right, there we go. Toony Loons has been updated. And I also saw that Toony Loons has broken down as well since we have built it. It's already broken down, which is not fantastic. But there we go. That is now on the Steam Workshop. You can download it if you want to put it in your park if you'd like. And Toony Loons is broken down. So you know what? Let's just quickly change the maintenance to every 10 minutes. You know what? It's just been built, but we'll pay $480 to get it fully refurbished as well. Flipping heck. With that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Planet Coaster there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to like, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.